Okay, so have you guys noticed like more robots popping up, like in
Hmm.
customer service and stuff?
Yeah.
Seems like every other interaction now is with a chatbot these days. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes it's great, right?
Yeah.
Instant answers, who doesn't love that?
Totally, totally.
But it does make you kind of wonder about that human touch, you know?
Yeah, you're right. And it's not just like a philosophical debate anymore.
Yeah.
This is actually like the future of how businesses are going to connect with us.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty big shift. Like Gartner predicts that conversational AI could actually save businesses $80 billion
Oh,
in agent labor costs by 2026.
$80 billion.
Yeah.
That's a serious incentive to embrace the bots.
Hmm.
But what is behind this massive wave of conversational AI?
Well, it's not just about replacing humans with robots.
Right.
It's about working smarter.
Okay.
So imagine AI handling all of those like basic questions,
Right.
like where's my order,
Right.
or what are your store hours?
Yeah. Yeah.
That frees up human agents to actually deal with more complex problems that require like a human.
Right. The harder stuff.
Exactly.
Oh,
And that's where Townsend's research comes in.
oh, yeah. AI versus human, the future of customer interaction. Right.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm ready to dive in.
Okay, so he breaks this evolution down really well.
Okay.
Remember those like old clunky chatbots?
Uh-huh.
Like the ones that could barely understand,
Yeah.
like a simple request.
Oh, yeah.
They were basically like glorified phone trees.
Oh, my gosh. Yes. Nothing like yelling, representative, representative, at a machine for like 10 minutes.
Exactly. But then came machine learning.
Okay.
And so AI started learning from tons of data,
Hmm.
and they would get smarter with each interaction.
Right.
And now we've got things like your GPT AI chatbot,
Yeah.
which can actually like hold a conversation that feels kind of natural.
Yeah, I've actually been pretty impressed with some of the newer AI chatbots out there. They seem to understand me better and respond faster. What's like the secret ingredient?
So it's all thanks to something called natural language processing,
Hmm.
or NLP.
Okay.
And basically, it's how AI decodes all the little nuances of human language,
Hmm.
like intent and even emotion.
Wow.
Think of it as like giving AI a crash course in human conversation 101,
Mm-hmm.
but like on a massive scale.
So it's not just about like pre-programmed responses anymore.
No.
These AI are actually learning and adapting. No wonder they're kind of taking over customer service. But is that always a good thing?
That's a good question. And that's actually where Townsend gets really interesting.
Okay.
He argues that like, yeah, speed and efficiency are great,
Yeah.
but there's still a huge need for that human touch,
Right.
especially in certain situations.
Yeah, for sure. Because sometimes you need more than just an answer. You need empathy and a listening ear. But Townsend says that 60% of users expect faster resolutions from chatbots,
Yeah.
which makes sense.
Right. But he also points out that lots of customers, especially when they're dealing with something that's like emotionally charged,
Yeah.
they still crave that interaction with a real human.
Of course.
And he quotes one industry expert who says that like discovering that you've just been talking to a robot
Mm.
when you're already stressed can really damage a business.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's like adding insult to injury, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're dealing with a delayed flight and lost luggage. Let me introduce to you this soulless machine.
Right.
It really makes you wonder, are we like trading a little bit of our humanity for the convenience,
Yeah.
you know, just to get that instant gratification? I mean, it's great when it works, but are we losing something important in the process?
Well, Townsend doesn't think we're quite there yet.
Okay.
He argues that it's not really about a total AI takeover.
Right.
It's more about finding that right mix of AI and human interaction
Okay.
to create the best experience, you know?
So it's less about AI versus humans and more about AI working with humans.
Exactly. He actually calls it finding the right balance.
Okay.
Like, think about e-commerce. A chatbot can answer questions about like shipping costs or return policies really easily.
Sure.
But what happens when like someone's package gets lost or an item arrives damaged?
Right.
That's where you really need a human agent
For sure.
to offer empathy and understanding,
Yeah.
which AI, at least for now, can't really do.
Yeah, it's about knowing when to use the super efficient bot and when you need a human touch. It makes me think about like different industries that are already using this kind of blended approach.
Yeah, and Townsend actually gives some really great real-world examples in the research.
Okay.
So like in retail,
Okay.
imagine if AI could manage the inventory
Okay.
and even help customers like navigate the store, maybe with an app or something.
Uh-huh.
But human staff are still there to offer like personalized styling advice,
Yeah.
or handle those really complicated returns.
Right, those difficult situations that require a little bit more. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And I can see how that would work in other fields too, like healthcare, maybe.
Exactly.
Oh,
Telehealth is the perfect example. So AI could handle like appointment scheduling,
okay.
medication reminders,
Right.
even basic triage, you know,
Yeah.
like collecting information before a patient even talks to the doctor.
Oh, wow.
So that frees up like healthcare
Yeah.
professionals to focus on the diagnosis and treatment.
Right, where their expertise is really needed.
Right. Exactly.
Now, that's a game changer,
Hmm.
especially in a world where it seems like healthcare is so overwhelmed. But it does seem like there would be a lot of ethical considerations with this type of technology, right?
Totally. And this is something that Townsend stresses in his research. We're talking about AI that's collecting and then analyzing huge amounts of personal data.
Right.
He points out that data security and user privacy have to be like the top priority.
Yeah, I can see that becoming a real concern for people. Imagine an AI chatbot that knows your medical history,
Right.
your shopping habits,
Hmm.
maybe even your deepest fears and anxieties.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fascinating, but it's also a little creepy.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And Townsend suggests that transparency and control over how that data is actually used
Right.
will be really important for people to feel comfortable
Of course. Yeah.
interacting with AI on a deeper level. He even says that going forward, companies really need to be upfront about how they're using AI in customer service.
Yeah. That makes sense. People deserve to know who or even what they're talking to. But let's say we figure out all the ethical stuff.
Yeah.
What does the future hold for AI and customer service? Any predictions from Townsend?
Well, he ends his research by saying that the future of customer interaction will definitely be a blend of AI and humans.
Okay.
But get
Good.
this,
Yeah.
he even brings up the idea of AI becoming more emotionally intelligent.
Whoa, hold on. AI that can like sense your emotions?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's amazing or terrifying.
Right.
It sounds like something out of a movie. AI that can actually read our emotions. That's like next level stuff. I mean, it makes you wonder though, if we like perfect AI like that, will we even be able to tell the difference?
Yeah, it's such a fascinating question.
Right.
And it's like right at the core of what Townsend's getting at.
Yeah.
He's saying that as AI gets more and more sophisticated,
Right.
it might get harder to figure out
Uh-huh.
who's a human and who's a bot.
That we might not even know who we're talking to. That's intriguing, but is also kind of unsettling, you know? Like, are we heading towards a world where we can't tell the difference between humans and machines?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
And Townsend doesn't really give us an easy answer.
Right.
He kind of leaves us with more questions than answers.
Yeah.
He seems to be saying that it's up to us
Okay.
as like consumers, but also as a society
Yeah.
to decide how far we want this technology to go.
It makes you think about what the human touch really means.
Yeah.
Like, is it something that could ever be replicated by algorithms?
Right. Even if they get super advanced.
Yeah.
I mean, philosophers have been trying to figure that out for centuries.
That's true.
And now it's like bleeding into technology.
Yeah, for sure. It's a really interesting question.
It is.
I don't think there's like a right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something that we need to be talking about more.
For sure.
So I think as we wrap up our deep dive into AI and customer service, the thing I'm left with, and hopefully our listeners too, is that this is about way more than just technology.
Yeah.
It's about how we connect with each other in a world that's like only getting more digital.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's a total balancing act.
Right.
Trying to figure out how to use AI without losing what makes us human.
And maybe this whole thing with AI will actually make us value that human connection even more.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Something to think about, right?
Definitely.
Well, thanks for diving into all this with me. This has been a really interesting conversation.
Yeah, this was fun. Thanks for having me.